Dragon Ball getting stronger from signing in Chapter 1-20. Chapter 1 starts with the bloodline of the super race. Boom, boom, boom. Chumo was awakened by a violent shock, which was inexplicable. What's the situation? Earthquake. Excuse me, run away. For the first time, Chumo thought of the earthquake, then grabbed his clothes and fled for his life. But when he came out of the house, he was stunned by the scene in front of him. What's the matter? The dilapidated and collapsed high-rise buildings in front of him are everywhere, and there is a sense of desolation everywhere. The end of the world. Chumo was shocked. Did he come to the end of the world when he woke up? Ahem, it turns out that there are still living people in this city, but unfortunately I still failed and I can't save more people. A weak voice came, which surprised Chumo, followed by a burst of joy. There are still people alive. He looked for the voice and found the owner of the voice. A blue-haired boy with a long sword behind him, but there is a big hole in his chest that is bleeding continuously. This young man can't survive. Chumo made a judgment immediately, but after seeing the boy's appearance, he was shocked. Trunks. As soon as he saw this person, Chumo immediately thought of the name. Cough, how do you know my name? Trunks said with difficulty. Nima, really Trunks? Did I travel to the Dragon Ball world? It's the future Dragon Ball world. How is this going? Chumo was very puzzled, but he still ran over. He had many questions. Didn't you go back and find Sun Wukong? How could this be? Trunks was hoarse, he knew his life was running out. Unfortunately, the gods are dead, and the Dragon Balls are gone. Otherwise, so many people wouldn't die. Damn androids, I have no choice, I'm going to die. Trunks blamed himself. He didn't expect that after killing the number with the remote control, there would still be artificial humans. When he was careless, he was attacked by the monster android, and even the time machine was robbed. Looking at Trunks, Chumo was speechless for a while. Your sister, why didn't I travel through the world of Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball G? This world has hair, only death. Chumo was a little depressed, but when he came to Trunks, a magical scene happened. Ding! Found Dragon Ball Fighter Trunks, the host can sign in. Whether to sign in, receive a novice gift package. Nani? What's happening here? Goldfinger. Hey, the system. Chumo was overjoyed and quickly called the system. In the end, there was no reply. Disappointed, he looked at Trunks again. Voice sounded again, Ding, I found Dragon Ball Fighter Trunks, whether to sign in and receive a novice spree. This time, Chumo was very sure that he heard correctly. I can't do it anymore, I hope you can live well. Don't worry, I'll be fine. As soon as he finished speaking, Trunks tilted his neck and hung up. Start signing in. Ding, congratulations to the host for successfully signing in. Do you want to open the novice gift package immediately? Bullshit, of course you have to turn it on. Ding, congratulations to the host for obtaining the Super Saiyan bloodline and Trunks' double combat power. Ding, congratulations to the host for acquiring the skills Magic Flash, Sky Dance, Chi Perception, Afterimage Fist, Turtle Qigong Wave. The sound of the system sounded in time, and Chumo suddenly felt a powerful force pouring out of his body. Start merging the blood of the super race. The next moment, a sharp pain came, and Chumo almost fainted. Your sister, don't those who say everything that the system rewards will not have pain. Lao Su was actually deceived by the author of a certain Lu. Chumo cursed in his heart, as if this was the only way to feel better. It took a full hour for Chumo to recover from the endless pain. This Nima is too painful, but it should be successful, right? Chumo, who is still a little dizzy because of crossing the road, finally woke up after this pain. Not only that, but I also felt that my whole body was full of power, and there was more knowledge about transforming into a Super Saiyan in my mind. Try your strength and talk about it. Chumo slammed a fist into the air at the remnant wall in front of him. Boom. With the sound of a loud explosion, the ruins that were originally dozens of meters were actually crushed into a pile of dust by Chumo's fist from the air. A fist path appeared on the ground several hundred meters deep, spreading for several kilometers. Okay, so strong. Is this my current power? Chumo is fortunate that he didn't use his full strength, otherwise the earth would be gone. Although he is still very weak compared to the power that can destroy a galaxy in the later stage, Chumo is still very satisfied. After gaining power, Chumo was overjoyed, and suddenly found a character interface in front of him. Chumo, male. Age, years old. Combat strength, 10,000 basic combat strength, 100 million, Super Saiyan Stage 1. Bloodline, Super Saiyan. Skills, Chi Perception, Sky Dance, Afterimage Fist, Turtle Qigong Wave, Magic Flash. However, after looking at his own attributes, Chumo didn't know whether to be happy, but he was speechless. The basic combat power is 10,000, although it is good, but in the later stage it can only be reduced to the role of passerby. And now it's only Super's first form, that is, he has just started the Super Saiyan road. Ding! Now post the next sign-in task. Host, please go to Dragon Ball Z World to sign in within 1 month and receive corresponding rewards. A month. Back to years ago, motherfucker, can you still have a good time? Now that Trunks has been killed and the time machine has been robbed, what should I do? Without a time machine, how can he go back to the time and space of Dragon Ball Z? It doesn't matter if the dragon makes a wish. Unless it is a super dragon, even the lizard dragon of the Namekians will not be able to break through time and space. It's just that now he doesn't know where to find those Nameks, let alone the dragon. The only way is to find Bulma and let her make another time machine. After spending a lot of time, Chumo finally found Bulma. Although she is already old, Bulma is still so beautiful, with more of a woman's charm. Chumo did not hide Bulma, and directly told her the news of Trunks' death. Bulma, I want to finish what Trunks left unfinished, please build another time machine. I want to go back to the past and change the future when tragedies happen. Chumo said his intentions in the future, but he changed the excuse to Trunks' last wish. Sure enough, when Bulma heard the last, her grief finally got better. This is no problem. Now that the androids are no longer in this time and space, it is much more convenient to create. However, you have to help me. Bulma's voice was cold, her only sustenance was dead. Chapter 2 Super Saiyan 2. Okay, no problem, I'll be back in 2 days, and now there's a little work to do. Since there is still time, Chumo decided to strengthen his strength before traveling through time and space. And there is only one place that can greatly improve the combat effectiveness in a short period of time. Kalanta. A starting place for countless miracles. Kalanta has become a god and a turtle fairy. This is the legend of Sun Wukong, and the legend of Dragon Ball warriors. In other words, Kalanta is actually the birthplace of the miracle of the earth. Although the Dragon Ball warriors are all dead, Chumo feels that there should still be there. All he needs to do now is to borrow a magical place there. Spiritual Time House. Kalanta is not difficult to find. After Chumo flew for a few minutes, he came to the Temple of Heaven. However, this place has also become a ruin, the palace has collapsed, and only individual passage rooms are left. Well, it seems that they have been here too. I hope the Spiritual Time House still exists. Chumo didn't know where the Spiritual Time House was, so he had to look for them one by one. It took an hour and finally came to the last intact room. I don't know if this is the case. This is the last hope. Chumo opened the door, and suddenly a desolate breath came, and what came into view was a piece of white. Endless blank, the whole world is only white. Finally found, but fortunately it wasn't destroyed. Chumo was overjoyed. After entering the Spiritual Time House, Chumo found that it was exactly the same as the one in the anime, except for a small house in the rest area. The outside was a vast expanse of white. 10 times the gravity. Chumo was not used to it as soon as he came in, which made him feel uncomfortable. Forget it, I'll get used to it after a while. Let's start practicing now, I still have half a year. Chumo stabilized his mind, and then started the journey of cultivation here. Fortunately, I was used to living alone in my previous life, so it was nothing to be alone. Ah, ha, give me a cup of forgetful water. Nonsense. After getting used to it for a while, Chumo actually started to sing. Ah, ha. With Chumo's roar, a golden arrogance began to appear around the body. Chumo directly transformed into the state of a Super Saiyan. In the anime, Sun Wukong started to practice in this state, and has maintained it. As expected of a Super Saiyan, this power is too strong. Chumo felt the power of his body and couldn't help but be overjoyed. However, the consumption of the Super Saiyan state is also very large. After only a few minutes, Chumo felt that his anger was much less. There is a long way to go, start practicing. Half a year later, in the spiritual time house. Ah, ha. After the final roar, Chumo stopped exploding, and he felt very cool at the moment. At this time, Chumo's form has undergone great changes. The whole body seems to have doubled in size, and it looks very powerful. His blonde hair was a little messy and stood up tall. In the eyes, they are all white, and the pupils have disappeared. The arrogance began to show signs of erupting upwards, and a trace of lightning appeared around the arrogance. This is the third form of the first stage of Super Saiyan. Although this form is very strong, but it is useless. Chumo looked at his body, and he could clearly feel the powerful force in his body surging continuously. Compared to before, the strength has increased almost tenfold. But he is also very clear that although this transformation will give him powerful strength, it will greatly limit his speed. This third form of Super Saiyan, in Dragon Ball, Trunks once used this transformation to fight against the full-body Sharu. However, the speed was too slow, and there was absolutely no way to keep up with Sharu. This form belongs to the force that cannot be used. Chumo took a deep breath, and then slowly released his breath to calm his breath. When he transformed into the third form just now, he suddenly had a different understanding of the full power form of the Super Saiyan. As the chi slowly dropped, Chumo's body began to return to its previous Super Saiyan form. The violent golden arrogance began to dissipate little by little, and then all was absorbed into the body. At this time, Chumo still has golden hair, but the golden arrogance around him has completely disappeared. In addition, compared to the previous Super Saiyan form, there is no obvious change. Finally completed the Super Saiyan full power form. Chumo finally breathed a sigh of relief. In the past 6 months, he has never interrupted the practice of Super Saiyan, and finally mastered the state of full power. Next is the second phase of Super Saiyan transformation. Super Saiyan is twice as powerful as Super Saiyan, both speed and strength are much stronger, but if you want to break through Super Saiyan, you must learn Super Saiyan full power. Chumo has reached Super full power, and the next transformation becomes much easier. Another half year has passed. In the spiritual time room, a powerful airflow began to surge. The whole world seemed to be shaking. Ah, ha. Chumo burned his chi to the extreme, and then began to burst out continuously. The gravel in the spiritual time house was continuously floating in the air by invisible power. Then, the golden arrogance turned into a surging hurricane directly around Chumo's body. The hurricane soared into the sky, and immediately flew sand and rocks. In that terrifying hurricane, a blue lightning flashed suddenly. Stab! There was another blue lightning bolt, and then, more and more lightning flashed in the hurricane like a small wriggling snake. A crisp sound. It was the blue lightning that swirled around Chumo's body. At this moment, Chumo's image has also undergone great changes. The edges and corners of his face became more distinct, his eyes became a little longer, and there was a hint of arrogance in those pale green pupils. Of course, in addition to this, Chumo's golden hair stood tall at the moment. Only a handful of bangs were left dancing in front of the eyebrows. Rustling. The golden arrogance turned into a jet, and blue lightning kept lingering around the body, making a rustling sound. Super Saiyan who surpasses Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan. This power, I really like it. Chumo clenched his fist, the power in his body is like the vast universe, endless. Chapter 3 The Cosmic Emperor Strikes. Looking at the blue lightning around his body, Chumo was quite satisfied with the state of Super Saiyan 2 at the moment. It took a year for Chumo to finally adjust his state to Super Saiyan, and this progress made him very satisfied. At least it's much faster than the Monkey King in the anime. Of course, this year, Chumo's basic combat power has also increased to 100 million. Chumo, male. Age, years old. Combat strength, 100 million. Basic combat strength, 100 million. Super Saiyan. Bloodline, Super Saiyan. Weapon, Sword of the Brave. Skills, Chi Perception, Sky Dance, Afterimage Fist, Turtle Qigong Wave, Magic Flash. When returning to Bulma's residence, Chumo began to help find various materials for making. After half a month, Bulma finally completed the new time machine again. Bulma said lightly, "The time machine is ready, I wish you good luck, go back there, don't come back again. There is nothing worth lingering here." Chumo was at a loss for words, not knowing what to say. This time machine has a little less fuel. Whether it can send you back to years ago on time depends on your luck. Hearing this, Chumo felt pissed in his heart. Nima, I have always had good luck. ... In the universe, a huge spaceship is galloping at a very high speed, and looking at its direction, it is actually coming towards the Earth. Inside the spaceship, the leaders of the Frozen Demon clan are Kurd, Beulah, and Frieza and their son. That's the Earth, Dad, I must kill all these Saiyan monkeys this time. Frieza's face was red and flaming, and her tone was full of murderous intent. At this time, Frieza's body has returned to its final form, but it is covered with various mechanical patches, which looks unusually eye-catching. Then the Saiyan monkeys, will they be on Earth? Could they nearly beat you to death? That's funny. This time, it was Beulah who spoke. If it wasn't for the family, he would be too lazy to come to Earth. Dear brother, you'll see in a while, how hateful those Saiyan monkeys are. Frieza gritted his teeth. For Sun Wukong's hatred, he wanted to eat his flesh and drink his blood. Kurd looked at the top, looking at the blue planet in the distance, slowly shaking the red wine in the glass, the corners of his mouth raised slightly. Super Saiyans actually appeared, we must kill them. Yes, Dad, although it's easy to destroy this planet, it still can't relieve the hatred in our hearts. Now that our power has been improved again, there is absolutely no one in this universe that can compare with us. Frieza said gloomily with her tail wiggling behind her. I must kill all the people on Earth with my own hands in front of that wild monkey, and let him die in endless pain. Beulah said cruelly, watching others suffer is the greatest joy. Perhaps there was a deviation in history. Originally, only Frieza and King Kurd went to Earth, but now there is one more Beulah. ... Bang! The spaceship landed on the ground, setting off a violent gust of air. And Son Gohan and others also appeared near Frieza's spaceship. In addition to Sun Wukong, Krillin and Tianjin Fan, there are also Yamcha and Piccolo, as well as Tsunade Vegeta who came along hard-mouthed. I really can't believe it. Are you fighting this kind of monster on Namek? Feeling those three indescribably powerful breaths, Yamcha's whole body was shaking violently. He couldn't imagine that Sun Wukong, Sun Wukong and others could actually fight against such monsters. And Monkey King was able to kill Frieza. These three chi are really strong and suffocating. In front of these chi, I can't even mention the battle. Tianjin Fan's face was ashen, and he clenched his fists tightly. He couldn't believe it. Feeling these three powerful and evil breaths at close range made him even more desperate. This kind of monster, I am afraid that one finger can solve them. Sun Wukong, he actually defeated this kind of guy, but... damn, what kind of strength has his strength increased? Bike's angry face turned green, and he said in a low voice. Originally, he felt that in the past year, he had cultivated day and night, and he had become very powerful. But feeling these few breaths, I still can't suppress the fear in my heart. And these guys were killed by Sun Wukong a year ago. Gohan, Frieza's strength seems to be getting stronger. That powerful air made people tremble, causing Keelan's body to tremble uncontrollably. In this case, I am afraid that Wukong is coming, and it will not help. Thinking of this, Kaylin's face turned ashen. Earth, is it really over? Well, Frieza's chi is indeed very strong, but the two chi around him are even more powerful. Sun Wufan also spoke in a deep voice. With Frieza alone, they are no match, let alone the other two who are stronger. Every one of them is wearing a combat power detector. You are not allowed to fly, put your air away, and we will walk quietly over there. Vegeta said loudly to Piccolo and the others. If Frieza and the others discovered their location, it would be quite bad. After listening to Vegeta's words, the others quickly suppressed their combat power. Then the cat got on his body and climbed up towards the top of the mountain in front of him. After a few people climbed to the top of the mountain, they were shocked to discover that there were dozens of people standing in front of the spaceship's warehouse door. In the middle of them, the three of Frieza and their son are impressively. Then, those two guys are exactly the same as Frieza. They're going to die, it feels like they can't beat them at all. The moment he looked at the three of them, Klein felt that his courage was about to be broken. Just when Klein and the others were about to be frightened, an uninvited guest came. Hey, a black hole appeared in the sky, and a strange aircraft landed. It's not over yet. With a boom sound, another identical aircraft appeared in the sky. Almost at the same time, two strange flying machines appeared above Frieza's father and son's heads. What is this? Hey, people below, go away, the machine is out of fuel. There was a rush of voices in the sky, and then, the aircraft swept across a meteor and crashed directly into the spaceship of Frieza and his son. Chapter 4 Making Fun of Frieza and his son. Having just arrived on Earth, Frieza, who had not had time to pretend, suddenly heard the sound of the sky and was shocked. Nima, what is the situation? Someone actually fell from the sky. At a glance, Frieza was shocked. Quick, shoot down this aircraft immediately. Before he finished speaking, Beulah, who was beside him, stretched out his right hand, and a strong qigong wave blasted out directly. It's too late to rely on this group of trash. Then squinted, ready to enjoy the wine from the aircraft. That is the most beautiful sound in the universe. However, to his disappointment, he saw the same qigong wave blasting over from the aircraft. ZZ, before 2 hits, the qigong wave emitted by Beulah was instantly submerged. Who attacked Lao Su so impatiently? Turtle School Qigong. A roar came from the sky. After a dazzling light, Beulah's face turned pale. Boom. This is good. Frieza and the other spaceships were directly smashed into scum by the qigong wave. Nani, who is so daring to destroy my spaceship? The Kurdish king was stunned, and before he could react, the spaceship was bombed. After a burst of violent smoke, a large pit of several hundred meters appeared on the spot. Then one aircraft landed steadily on the ground, while the other aircraft crashed directly into the hill. The three Kurds and their son looked at the crashed spaceship. The qigong wave just now was very powerful. On the intact aircraft, a young boy with a sword on his back landed, looking at Frieza and his son with blue hair coolly. It was Trunks from the future. Bah, it's too pitiful. Bulma didn't make it clear. The material is not enough. The quality of this time machine will be so much worse. This time machine is naturally Chumo, but the time machine has insufficient energy, so he barely came to this time and space. Following Chumo's voice, Trunks also looked towards Chumo and saw the familiar time machine. What's the matter? Why is there a time machine? Trunks was very curious. Ahem, have I finally come to Dragon Ball Z? Seeing the images of Frieza outside the aircraft, Chumo was very happy. He didn't know how long he stayed in the time tunnel, and he was bored to death. Seeing so many people, it proves that he has successfully come to the past time and space of Dragon Ball. Ding! The host has successfully arrived in the era of Dragon Ball Z. Please sign in on top of Frieza's head and receive the corresponding quest rewards. Chumo, your sister, why are you signing in on top of Frieza's head this time? Thinking of the first time on the dying Trunks, Chumo felt that the sign-in system seemed a bit special. Forget it, just sign in when you sign in, isn't it just 3 eggs scattered? Dare to destroy the Earth with this little strength. Any android would frighten them to death. What a cosmic emperor without knowledge. However, it was obvious that Frieza would not let people touch his head so easily. Hello, you are Frieza, you are really famous, it's better to meet. It's cute. This little bald head is really shiny. Chumo touched Frieza's head with a playful look on his face, not feeling nervous at all. Wow, you're Kurdish, that's pretty cool. Wow, that muscle looks great. Chumo pinched Kurd's muscles by the way. Well, strong enough to go to a beauty pageant. Yo, isn't this Gyula? You 3, you are the most handsome, very good. With Frieza and his son stunned, the mysterious guy who just came out warmly shook hands with them. Those who didn't know that attitude, that look, thought they were their fans. However, it is clear that the fans' words made them very upset. Nani, you actually said I'm cute. Frieza has a murderous look on his face. He hates being called cute. Kurd is also angry. He hates being told that he is muscular. This does not mean that he has developed limbs and a simple mind. Gyula is proud. This guy is still very discerning. Chumo didn't care about this. As soon as he saw the father and son, he felt very excited. As expected of a villain, very stylish. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the sign-in and getting the sign-in gift package. Do you want to open the sign-in package now? Open now. Chumo moved quickly and completed the sign-in in one fell swoop. Cool. Ding! Congratulations to the host for opening the Dragon Ball Z sign-in package and obtaining the survivability of the frozen demon race in the universe. Ding! Congratulations to the host for getting Frieza's double combat power. Ding! Get Frieza's superpower telekinesis. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining the skill Death Beam. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining the skill Death Energy Bomb. Cool, it's such a pleasure to sign in. With the sound of the system, a powerful force suddenly emerged in Chumo's body, as well as the use of superpowers and skills. Basic combat power has increased by 400 million, and now he has transformed into a Super Saiyan with a combat power of more than 100 million. Sun Wukong and the others who were hiding not far away were even more confused. Who is this guy who dared to make fun of Frieza, the emperors of the universe? He even dared to touch Frieza's head and tease him about his height. He really wasn't afraid of death. Moreover, at that moment just now, the strength of that mysterious man increased again. The invisible pressure spread instantly. The 3 Frieza were angry, but they didn't do anything. In other words, don't dare to do it. In addition to Chumo's quick movements, more importantly, they felt a heavy pressure on Chumo. This new guy has unfathomable strength. Trunks, who had a cool face, was also stunned. Who is this guy? Why is there a time machine? Looks like someone from Frieza's side, but doesn't seem to be. Moreover, he also faintly felt the power that shocked him from Chumo's body. As if he was in front of him, like an ant. What are you? How dare you touch my head? Frieza was the most concerned about being told about his height, but Chumo was so abusive to him. He was very angry, and the consequences. Death. Ouch, who hit me? Before he could finish speaking, Frieza shouted while holding her head. I don't like people pointing at me. Next time, kill me directly. Chumo's indifferent tone made Trunks look bewildered. Just touch your head and sign it. It's necessary to be so stingy. After the sign-in was over and the reward was received, Chumo planned to leave here. He didn't really want to interfere in Frieza's affairs. Dragon Ball Plus has more rules, I hope everyone will take care of it. The new book sets sail, and the author will work hard to update it. For the new book period, the daily guarantee is 4 shifts. More than 1 day of flowers, plus 1 more. Reward more than 1 person per day, add 1 more. More than 1 comment per day, add 1 more. The author will try his best to ensure the update speed and quality, and hope that friends who like it will support it. By the way, friends who like this book can give the author a little motivation in the book review area. Thank you all. Chapter 5 Frieza, you're too weak. With Trunks there shouldn't be a problem here. Your sister, this king is not here to be a guest, I am here to destroy the earth. Frieza was angry, and the consequences were severe. Frieza was furious, and just as he was about to do it, he felt a pain in his stomach, and then flew out backwards. When did he? The moment he flew out, Frieza was shocked. He couldn't even see each other's movements. Oh, why do you have to force me out? Chumo shook his head. Turtle School Qigong. Frieza, who didn't understand what was going on, was startled when she heard the voice. My Nima, it's this move again. He remembered the unpleasant moment when he and Sun Wukong confronted Bo on planet Namek. Am I going to die again? Frieza thought sadly. He wanted to resist, but the opponent's strength was too strong, and he couldn't react now. No, save Frieza. Bastard, how dare you do this to the great family of cosmic emperors? Kurt and Beulah were also shocked. They didn't expect this very friendly guy to fight directly. And they didn't even see each other's movements, and now they can only bite the bullet and face the waves. Super Qigong Wave. Super Qigong Wave. As the two voices sounded, Kurt and Beulah appeared in front of Frieza, and the two blasted their strongest energy together. The 3 energy waves collided directly, and the dazzling light made Kaylin and others in the distance unable to open them. Beyond your own power. Chumo sneered and suddenly increased his strength. The basic combat power is 600 million, so Chumo does not plan to transform. To deal with 3 egg powder has to be transformed, it does not seem that he is losing face. Zizizi. As if the fiery steel met cold water, the 3 Qigong waves collided fiercely, and the surrounding rocks were instantly blasted into powder by the surging energy. Yeah. Beulah released his own energy desperately, and his teeth were about to bleed. Kurt on the side was even more so. His eyes were about to pop out, obviously he was desperate. The strong shock caused the earth to vibrate, countless mountains crumbled, and the sea roared. Okay, what a terrifying energy. How could he also send Qigong waves? Krillin's teeth were fighting up and down. This was the first time he felt such terrifying energy. It's too strong, this kind of energy, just a little bit, we are all blown to pieces. Yamcha's face was pale. Are you going to die again? Piccolo and Vegeta looked unwilling, watching the huge energy emanating from the pair of waves. Why? Why do people still have such power? Why are so many people so much stronger than them? Piccolo felt that his faith for so many years had completely collapsed at this moment. What rules the earth is a complete joke. No, I'm not reconciled, I want to become stronger. Yes, you have to get stronger. Piccolo clenched his fist, he must continue to practice. Vegeta gritted his teeth in hatred. I must break through the Super Saiyans, I will crush them, I am the strongest Saiyans. He vowed to increase gravity training. Be sure to transform into a Super Saiyan faster. Trunks from the future was even more confused, he didn't know what to do at all. Originally planned to kill Frieza and the 3, but he found that someone was faster than him. And also a person who rides a time machine, and that's sort of the brave. How is this going? Is he also from the future? It's too easy, can you guys be serious? You can't be so hard on Bo. This makes me very stress-free. Chumo blasted out the turtle school qigong with one hand. Hearing the irony of Chumo's sarcastic remarks, Kurd was even more furious and wanted to find a way out, but as soon as he spoke, a bloody smell came. PFF'd. Hateful. Your sister, I've been fighting for my life and spitting blood, how can you see that you are not serious? The dignified emperor of the universe was beaten to the point of vomiting blood, and he had no way to refute it. It was too miserable. Beulah also blushed, but he didn't dare to speak, lest he also spit out a mouthful of old blood. Damn, I'm going to kill you, damn you. Frieza finally stopped the butt-back flat sand falling geese style. Facing Chumo's mockery, he was inexplicably angry. Death beam. Frieza shot several powerful red beams directly with his fingers. The speed is fast, the penetration is strong. However, Chumo glanced at it and didn't even bother to move. Trash. Are you going to put this stuff too? Puff puff. A death beam hit Chumo's body, and Frieza was overjoyed. But in less than a second, his face became extremely pale. The red beam that hit Chumo didn't even penetrate Chumo's skin, not even leaving a trace. No, impossible. Frieza suddenly thought of Sun Wukong. At the beginning, Sun Wukong also let his death beam hit him, but there was no trace at all. Are you a Super Saiyan too? No, you don't have yellow hair. You don't have green eyes, you can't be a Super Saiyan. Frieza was going crazy, and the Super Saiyan was like a nightmare, making him incoherent. Too weak. Chumo shook his head, but his heart was very happy. This feeling of crushing was really wonderful. Beulah, if you don't do your best, the old man next to you will probably die. Still blasting the turtle school qigong with one hand, Chumo seemed very relaxed, pinning Beulah and Kurd to death. Hearing this, everyone looked over, and indeed, Kurd's face was flushed with suffocation, as if he was about to die in the next second. Damn it, I can't go on like this, I can only transform into the fourth form, or I will die in the hands of this guy. Beulah's eyes kept rolling, and he began to prepare to fight with all his strength. No, I don't believe it. I must kill you. Patch shouted, when has he been so despised? He rammed directly towards Chumo, surrounded by a powerful arrogance. Nova strike. No brains, you want to fight me too. Chumo punched him directly. Bang. The fist and the bald head collided fiercely, and the entire ground was torn apart by the strong vibration. The cracks in the cobwebs continued to spread far and wide, which was terrifying. Naturally, Frieza was knocked out again, and a red fist mark appeared on the top of his head. This time, he was beaten very hard, and Frieza felt dizzy when the sky was full of stars. P.S. Now you haven't experienced the moment of waiting in front of the TV after school and waiting for the Dragon Ball anime to play. It was a torment at that time. How happy is it now? As long as you go to various platforms, or Station B, you can watch all Dragon Balls at once. Hope you all enjoy that Dragon Ball passion. Thank you, and please throw in more flowers. Chapter 6. The Emperor of the Universe was killed without misfortune. I can't believe it. Frieza is like a child in front of this mysterious person, and has no resistance at all. Krillin watched all this in shock. Frieza, who was extremely powerful in his eyes, was kicked out like a sandbag. Get out of here, this energy is horrible. Tianjin Fan shouted and flew straight back. Such terrifying energy is not something they can resist. Come on. It's amazing, run. Keelan and Yamcha also flew away quickly, not wanting to hide. Tianjin, wait for me, it's so scary. Dumplings almost cried, such terrifying energy scares people to death. Piccolo glanced at it, and the terrifying energy collision also flew backwards. Damn it, I'm not afraid of this energy. Vegeta refused to retire like this, he was the arrogant Prince Saiyan. He is the greatest genius of the Saiyans. He must be the strongest in the future. Vegeta just stayed where he was, looking at Tianjin Fan and the others who were running around in disdain. Cut. Low. Bang. Before he could finish speaking, a powerful wave of energy flew towards him, and then sent the unwilling Vegeta flying out. Damn, how could this be? Watching Vegeta fly away, Trunks wanted to help him, but he knew that Vegeta didn't need his pity. Because this is his proudest father, never willing to fall behind. Trunks was the only one who didn't move. He stood not far from Chumo and Frieza, facing the energy that was pouring out violently, and he had a huge question. Who the hell is this guy? Forget it, it's no fun to torture you, let's end it. Chumo said coldly. As soon as his right hand exerted force, the powerful turtle Qigong instantly engulfed Kurd. As for Beulah, he exploded with powerful energy in an instant, and took the opportunity to escape the scope of the turtle school Qigong. Wait, no. Kurd opened his mouth to beg for mercy, but before he could say it, he was swallowed up by the powerful turtle Qigong. This guy is amazing, at least stronger than me. Who is he? Why is there a time machine? Trunks was very curious as he watched what happened. Although Chumo also killed Frieza and the others, Trunks had never heard of Chumo. If there is a person like Chumo in the history he knows, then it is impossible for the artificial humans to cause so much damage to the Earth in the future. Dad. Ah, damn you, who the hell are you? Frieza was furious, and he never imagined how he and others could provoke this terrible guy. After Beulah escaped, he immediately began to transform. With the continuous roar, Beulah's body began to undergo great changes. A powerful air wave came out, and the violent breath made Trunks' face change greatly. It's so strong, why has history changed so much? It was the weirdo just now, and now there's another Beulah. Could it be that because of my travel through time and space, history has changed? Trunks couldn't help but wonder, this was completely different from the history he knew. Damn, can't let that guy finish his transformation. Feeling Beulah's powerful energy, Trunks drew out the sword of the brave, and was about to step forward to interrupt Beulah's transformation. He came from the future and felt too unfamiliar with all this. Don't worry, let him transform slowly. You stay here, or I'll beat you up. Chumo interrupted Trunks. Don't let the villain pretend, then what's the point of him doing it? The best time to pretend is when the villain thinks he has a chance to win, and the protagonist personally slaps the face. There has never been such a cool feeling. To install, of course, I am here. Don't be arrogant, if you don't take the opportunity to kill him, you will regret it later. Trunks has experienced countless battles of life and death in the future, and what he has learned is to take advantage of his illness and kill him. Simply, neat. Just for rubbish like them. Chumo sneered, his figure moved, he drove directly to Frieza, and punched Frieza directly in the chest. Wow! Frieza's body turned into a bow, and he spat out a mouthful of old blood. Then, he felt himself being strangled and lifted up. Damn it, who the hell are you? Too much nonsense, die. Chumo was too lazy to speak, and a white light lit up in his palm. Boom. After a puff of smoke, Frieza completely disappeared, not even the scum left. At this time, Beulah's transformation was finally completed. After the transformation, Beulah's body became bigger and stronger at the same time. Starting from the four corners of the head and extending backward, the mouth is covered by a mask, and the eyes turn red. The shoulders protruded like chest pads, and a horn grew from the back. The arms also grow like knife-like protrusions, and their strength is further improved. The fourth form is so ugly. Chumo commented on Beulah's new form. It's so strong, I'm afraid it has surpassed me. Trunks observed Beulah and quickly came to a conclusion. It's a pity that the guy in front of him doesn't listen to his words, and now it seems that they are going to fight together. Thinking of this, Trunks looked in Chumo's direction. 400 million combat power, you are indeed the strongest of the frozen demon clan. In this way, I have a little fun. Come on. Chumo hooked his fingers at Gyula. Damn, I'm going to kill you. Gyula was furious, and in a blink of an eye, he was left with the three of them. As he said that, he was about to rush to Chumo's position, as if preparing for a battle. But the next scene was funny. I saw Gyula actually flew directly to the sky of the earth. He ran for his life. Your sister actually escaped. Not only Chumo was dumbfounded, but even Trunks was dumbfounded by this show. Die. Chumo sneered, his right hand turned up, and then a huge black energy bomb instantly condensed. Death energy bomb. Stop. As Chumo's voice fell, Gyula, who was about to fly into space, suddenly stopped. This is a space control object. How is it possible? This is Frieza's superpower, how do you? Gyula was startled. What's going on? He can't move at all. No, you don't want to kill me. I'm willing to take you as my master. Gyula looked terrified. Too much nonsense. No need. Chumo sneered, and then with a wave of his right hand, a death energy bullet of more than 10 meters in size flew towards Gyula. Chapter 7 Sun Wukong's Challenge. Boom. As if a huge fireworks exploded over the earth, Gyula was instantly blown up to the point where there was not a single bit of slag left. Is this the end? In the distance, Kaylin and the others watched Frieza and the three of them easily killed by Chumo one by one, and they were dumbfounded. It's so easy. It's not too easy, but he's too strong. Piccolo said coldly, and then left directly. He will continue to practice hard. Che, sooner or later I will surpass him. Vegeta also said coldly, and then flew directly to Bulma's house, where he would continue to borrow the gravity training room there. You rude guy, go over and say hello anyway. Krillin is very troubled. These two are arrogant guys. Who are you? Trunks turned to Chumo, who put a lot of pressure on him. Chumo, Saiyan, just like you, from the future. But you in the future are dead. Chumo answered directly. Nani, am I dead? What's the situation? Trunks looked confused, he was obviously from the future. You just do it according to your own ideas. Ours are not in the same time and space and do not interfere with each other. Chumo explained, regardless of whether Trunks could understand it or not. Hello, who are you? Tianjin Fan and others also came. They were very curious about Chumo and Trunks. Not the enemy. Chumo answered simply, then looked at Trunks. Trunks didn't know how to explain it to the elders of Tianjin Fan, but in the end he could only say that he was waiting for Sun Wukong to come back. What? Is Goku coming back? Great. Kaylin is worthy of being a good friend of Sun Wukong, and he was overjoyed for the first time. Dad is finally coming back. Sun Gohan was also surprised. Yes, Mr. Sun Wukong is coming back, but Trunks has great respect for Sun Gohan. After all, he is the master who will teach him everything in the future. Chumo, who originally wanted to go to the Temple of Heaven, suddenly heard the sound of the system. Ding! Now release a new sign-in task. Sign in on Sun Wukong, and receive the corresponding sign-in gift package. Huh, is there another sign-in task? Chumo had to stay and wait together. After more than an hour, Chumo suddenly looked up at the sky, and he could feel a powerful breath approaching outside the earth. This breath is very peaceful. It seems that Sun Wukong is back. What's the matter? Why is he looking up at the sky? Seeing Chumo looking at the sky, Kaylin and others were suddenly curious. Sun Wukong can restrain his own breath. Too far away, Tianjin Fan and others can't perceive it. Everyone looked up for a while, and suddenly there was the sound of a spaceship in the sky. Come on, this should be Wukong's spaceship. It's Daddy, I sensed Daddy's breath. Kaylin and Sun Wuhan shouted excitedly, and they felt at ease when Sun Wukong came back. In their hearts, Sun Wukong is the strongest. No matter what the enemy is, he will definitely be defeated by Sun Wukong. Come on, I am really looking forward to it, the protagonist of Dragon Ball. Chumo narrowed his eyes and looked at the spaceship falling from the sky, but he did not restrain his breath. As if feeling Chumo's terrifying gaze, Sun Wukong in the spaceship suddenly felt nervous, as if he was being targeted by some terrifying powerhouse. This feeling is 100 times more terrifying than Frieza at the beginning. An enemy is coming again. It's very scary. Who is it? Sun Wukong suddenly became serious, but more excited. The excitement of the strong in front of you. The spaceship finally landed, and Sun Wukong flew out immediately, then looked at Chumo. He could clearly feel how terrifying the breath of the man in front of him was. Trunks originally looked at Sun Wukong with a look of joy, but he quickly felt the breath emanating from Chumo, a feeling of suffocation. So strong. What is he trying to do? With such a powerful aura, I am afraid that the androids are not his opponents. Trunks felt that Chumo's breath was several times stronger than at the beginning. Who are you? Sun Wukong looked at Chumo. Chumo didn't say a word. Sun Wukong's progress was too slow at the moment, it seemed that he had to do something. Chumo, the opponent you can't win in your life. After looking at each other for a while, Chumo said. Then it's no nonsense. You won't know until you hit it. Sun Wukong was excited. Hey, please wait a moment, I still have. Trunks wanted to come over to stop Chumo and Sun Wukong from fighting, the business was important. But before the words could be said, he flew out. At this moment, Trunks finally felt how Frieza felt before. Nima, I just want to talk about something, why are you hitting me? Before he could even think about it, Trunks crashed into a hill, instantly turning the hill into countless rubble. It's a lot of work. When I'm doing things, you have to stand aside, it won't be your turn until a while. Chumo glanced at Trunks. Chumo. Sun Wukong recited it silently and wrote down the name. Your strength is very strong, I am not your opponent now. Hearing Sun Wukong's words, Kailin and others were shocked. What? Not even Goku is an opponent, is that so scary? However, I still want to compete with you, the blood in my body is boiling. After listening to Sun Wukong's words, Chumo smiled lightly. He was not surprised at all, this guy is a Saiyan, born to be warlike, and the Saiyan blood in his body drives him to constantly fight against the strong. Come on, Sun Wukong, let me see your strength. Chumo hooked his fingers at Sun Wukong, motioning for him to attack first. Okay, I'm here. Ah, ha. Sun Wukong put his arms in a stance and quickly transformed into a Super Saiyan. Boom. The golden arrogance rose into the sky, and the ground began to vibrate continuously. Okay, so strong. Mr. Sun Wukong can transform into a Super Saiyan freely. However, that guy is stronger. Feeling the breath of Sun Wukong, Trunks was excited for a while, but then worried. In the face of Sun Wukong, he still has the courage to fight. But facing Chumo, Trunks didn't even have the courage to make a move, because he knew that he couldn't even catch a move. Looks like you're serious. You've turned into a Super Saiyan. Chumo said lightly. Because you are too strong, otherwise, I don't even have the courage to do it. Sun Wukong said seriously, this is the difference between him and Trunks. Even if he knew he couldn't beat him, he would still challenge. Chapter 8 10 times the World King Fist. Come on. Chumo did not transform into a Super Saiyan, and the current Sun Wukong is not qualified enough for him to transform. The voice fell, and Chumo and Sun Wukong moved at the same time. The two stepped on the ground with both feet, and their bodies flew over instantly. Bang bang bang. I saw sonic booms appearing in the sky, but the two of them could not be seen. The surrounding mountains and rivers collapsed one after another under the energy shock of the two, and the ground was also cracking. However, both Chumo and Sun Wukong controlled most of the energy, otherwise the earth would not be able to bear it with just these few strokes. Chumo is enjoying this battle. Sun Wukong has a lot of fighting experience. He is taking the opportunity to learn Sun Wukong's fighting skills and experience. Bang bang bang. The two kept blasting their fists, and their figures kept appearing in the surrounding skies, making Kailin and others unable to keep up. Even Tianjin Fan moved his third eye, but he couldn't see it at all. He could only move his sight following the vibration of the sonic boom. Their speed and power are so great that we can't see it. Yeah, this man is too strong. No, Mr. Sun Wukong can withstand it for the time being, but Chumo didn't do his best. Trunks said seriously, he could still keep up with the speed of the two. But he knew that he was not qualified to join at all, and even Sun Wukong's combat power was much stronger than him. My dear, you are learning my fighting skills. Sun Wukong is a genius in battle, and after a few minutes, he figured out Chumo's purpose. Chumo learned quickly, and it didn't take long for him to learn most of his combat skills. Boom. Another violent collision. Sun Wukong was directly knocked back a few hundred meters by Chumo's punch, and his feet rubbed the ground to draw two deep marks. It's amazing, your hands are paralyzed, your strength is too strong. After being knocked back by Chumo's punch, Sun Wukong seemed even more excited. Apart from the previous fight with Frieza, he hadn't had such a good fight in a long time. I can't help it, it seems that I can only use Kai Wong Fist. After Super Saiyan, using Kai Wong Boxing, my body can't stand it, but if I don't use it now, I am not your opponent at all. Ah, ha. With a roar, Sun Wukong directly used the World King Fist. The golden hair stood upright, and the golden arrogance was covered with a layer of red arrogance. Beiji King Fist. 4 times the king of the world. Beiji King Fist. Beiji Wangquan, this is my limit. In this state, I can only last for a few minutes. It was just a warm-up just now, but now is the real contest. Beiji Wangquan, it seems that I have to use some strength. Chumo looked at Sun Wukong and said with a smile. In the anime, Sun Wukong never used Kai Wangquan when he was a Super Saiyan. It was not until Dragon Ball Super that Super Saiyan Kakai King Fist was used for the first time in the fight against Hit from Universe 6. But that would be a huge burden on the body. Now that Sun Wukong is using it, it can be seen that Chumo is putting a lot of pressure on him. The next minute is my limit, I hope you won't be disappointed. Sun Wukong raised the corner of his mouth and said lightly. Okay, the real battle begins now. There was also a serious expression on Chumo's face. Super Saiyan plus double World King Fist, Sun Wukong's strength is definitely not comparable to something like Frieza. Except the strongest minute. Sun Wukong roared, and then disappeared in a flash. The speed was so fast that people exclaimed, and appeared in front of Chumo in an instant. He punched Chumo and slammed it out. Good come. Chumo didn't plan to dodge either. He wanted to confront him and try Sun Wukong's current power. Punched up to him. Boom. At the moment when the fists touched, Chumo only felt a vast force coming, and his body flew out in an instant. Zzz. Chumo stabbed his feet straight into the ground and made 2 deep marks of dozens of meters. The last kick hit a hill behind, and it stopped. It's very powerful, and the King Fist of the Double Realm is really unusual. Chumo shook his arm, also excited. That's fine, it won't look too big. Ah, ha. Chumo roared loudly, arrogance rose to the sky, and the black pupils turned green in an instant. The entire ground slammed like a cobweb, constantly splitting in all directions. Super Saiyan. Such power, great. The fighting power of 100 million makes Chumo full of power. What's the situation? Are you a Saiyan too? Sun Wukong looked at Chumo in surprise and said excitedly. However, didn't Vegeta say that they are the only Saiyans left in the entire universe? Yes, I'm a Saiyan too. At this time, Chumo's aura was like the vast universe, and people couldn't see the limit, and even standing in front of him didn't dare to do anything. Super Saiyan. Sun Wufan, Kailin and the others looked at Chumo with bewildered expressions. With such a powerful force, Yamcha and Dumpling, whose willpower was slightly weaker, had already fallen to the ground, trembling all over their bodies. Even on Guaxian Island, thousands of miles away, the turtle immortal who was basking in the sun couldn't help but shudder. Such a terrifying breath, who is it? The turtle immortal muttered to himself in the direction of Chumo. However, although his breath is terrifying, there is nothing evil, and he should not be a villain. Said, the turtle fairy continued to bask in the sun. Piccolo at the Temple of Heaven and Vegeta at Bulma's house both had gloomy expressions on their faces. With such a terrifying atmosphere, they have to work harder to cultivate. Sun Wukong walked towards Chumo step by step, with a smile on his face. Whoever you are, come and fight. Looking at Chumo, Sun Wukong said excitedly. Thank you for your fighting skills, I will do my best. Chumo smiled and said to Sun Wukong. Looking at Chumo's confident expression, Sun Wukong touched the ground with his toes, and when the ground cracked instantly, his body disappeared. Chumo smiled lightly. No matter how fast Sun Wukong was, it was nothing to him. So powerful. Sun Wukong was very surprised. The fist that attacked with all his strength was actually blocked by the arrogance around Chumo's body. I can't even break his defenses. Bang bang bang. The figure of Sun Wukong was almost invisible, and countless powerful punches directly shattered the rocks near Chumo. But still did not let Chumo move half a point. Chapter 9 Sun Wukong was crippled. Then, Sun Wukong felt like he was suddenly flying. What a powerful force. Next, Sun Wukong felt that he had become a sandbag, and countless fists slammed into him. So fast. It's so strong. It hurts. Sun Wukong couldn't see Chumo's punching movement at all. His face, chest, and abdomen were all the parts that were punched. This situation is even more bizarre in the eyes of Sun Wufan and others. In their eyes, Sun Wukong seems to be controlled by an invisible force, and he keeps, slowly, flying backwards in the air. Chumo, on the other hand, walked forward step by step. The distance from Sun Wukong did not change at all, but Sun Wukong seemed to be hit by something constantly in various parts of his body. There was a burst of red and a burst of purple, which was proof of being injured. What's the matter? Why didn't Wukong fight back? Krillin looked very angry, and felt like Wukong was being controlled. Don't move, it's not that Wukong is being controlled, but this Chumo's speed is too fast, we can't see it at all. Tianjin Fan stopped Kailin from rushing to help. Their fighting power is not a big deal at all, and now Sun Wukong is not in danger, at most he was beaten. Once they go up and anger this mysterious Chumo, if he kills, it will not be worth the loss. Trunks was also sweating profusely. He had tried his best to observe, but he still couldn't see Chumo's movements at all. If it wasn't for the constant beating of Sun Wukong's body and the crushing of the surrounding rocks by fists, he would have thought that the opponent had not moved. Just 1 minute, well, it's over. The words fell, and Sun Wukong's body seemed to have lost control and fell directly to the ground. Cough, you guy, you can obviously beat me with one punch. Sun Wukong has been beaten to the point where he can't even maintain his Super Saiyan form, and he feels that all the bones in his body have been broken, and he has no strength at all. This is my thanks for learning your fighting skills. Although you are seriously injured now, I know you can't die. Chumo said lightly, every time a Saiyan is on the verge of death, his combat power will increase greatly. This is good for you. Beating you badly and making you thank you is how Chumo does things. Start signing in. Standing beside Sun Wukong, Chumo began to sign in. Ding! Congratulations to the host for signing in successfully. Get a sign-in gift package. Do you want to open the sign-in package now? Open. Ding! Congratulations to the host for opening the sign-in package and obtaining the skill to teleport. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining the skill World King Fist. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining the skill Vitality Bomb. Sun Wufan, you should bring a fairy bean. Give one to your father, his whole body was broken by me. Chumo's tone was understated, but the content made Kaylin and others sweat. Damn, you have to break other people's bones in a fight. This guy is absolutely ruthless. Yes, we brought several. Son Gohan hurriedly replied, and flew over. After taking Shondo, Sun Wukong recovered quickly, and even the sequelae of forcibly using the World King's fist were eliminated, and his strength also increased a lot, but he did not continue to challenge Chumo. You should always be on Earth, right? Sun Wukong said suddenly. Chumo heard the words, turned to look at him, and said with a smile, why, do you still want to continue the challenge? As expected of a fighting maniac, even if he can't beat him, he still wants to continue fighting. Only with a character like him can he achieve the strength that others have spent thousands of years in a few decades. It should be, I'm not sure where I will go. But if you want to go to the Temple of Heaven to practice for a while, you can challenge me at any time. After 3 sign-ins, the system has not released any new sign-in tasks for the time being. In this case, Chumo decided to temporarily go to the Temple of Heaven. Although he has a fighting power of 100 million now, it is really hard to say how much he can really play. Just like Vegeta, how strong is the combat power in the later stage, but after training on planet Adlat. Although the combat power has not improved much, the power displayed is several times that of the previous one, and even he himself was stunned. Therefore, Chumo understands very well that the truth of the 10,000 jong tall buildings rising from the ground, and the pragmatic foundation is the kingly way. Therefore, the Temple of Heaven is his best choice at the moment, the mysterious, which can guide him to better exert his own power. Moreover, there is food and drink on the Temple of Heaven, and there is also a spiritual time room to practice, which is an excellent place. The Temple of Heaven. It's really suitable for you to go there. That's good. I will definitely find you more in the future. Sun Wukong looks very excited. With an opponent like Chumo, he can use his power to the fullest. But before that, Sun Wukong decided to practice harder, and the next battle can't be so weak to fight back. Okay, I'll go first. The guy over there seems to have something to say to you. Chumo pouted in the direction of Trunks. He was not interested in Shalu. With Sun Wukong there, he didn't need to take action. Hey, Trunks, be careful with the androids. Besides those two, there are other androids. Don't get killed by a sneak attack, and don't persuade me. You can handle the androids yourself. People must rely on themselves. Seeing that Trunks seemed to want to speak to himself, Chumo interrupted him directly. Then the index finger and middle finger of his right hand were placed on his forehead, and he began to sense Piccolo's breath. Fortunately, he paid attention to the breath of these people before. Vic basically cultivated in the Temple of Heaven, which also saved him the time to fly. Hey! Chumo's figure suddenly disappeared under the gaze of Trunks and others. Ah! Trunks was speechless for a while, and before he could speak, he was rejected. Nani, he teleports too. I thought I was the only one who could learn this from the Adrat. Sun Wukong is very familiar with teleportation and admires Chumo even more. Talent. What a powerful guy, hopefully he won't be our enemy. Seeing where Chumo disappeared, Tianjin Fan was worried. Don't worry, Tianjin Fan. Although Chumo is very mysterious, there is no evil in his breath. I believe that he will not do anything to the earth. Sun Wukong had a confident smile on his face, but after a while he continued, of course, this is on the premise that we provoke him. Seemingly remembering the pain of his whole body being broken by Chumo just now, Sun Wukong changed his tone again. Chapter 10 Piccolo is stunned. Then it was time for Trunks. He explained the future situation to Sun Wukong alone, so that Sun Wukong must be careful about the artificial human that appeared 3 years later, and the viral heart disease. After giving Sun Wukong the special medicine for viral heart disease, Trunks went back in a time machine. Next, history will definitely change. On the Temple of Heaven. Huh. Chumo's sudden appearance shocked both Piccolo and Tianjin. It's you. What are you doing here? Piccolo shouted nervously, but he is very aware of Chumo's terrifying strength. Relax, I'm here just to practice, I don't want to beat you. You're not qualified enough for me to beat you. Chumo said coldly. The current Piccolo has not been fully influenced, and his greatest wish is to rule the earth. Therefore, Chumo was too lazy to be polite to him. Damn, one day, I will challenge you. Piccolo was furious, but he restrained himself. Otherwise, the opponent only needs one energy bomb to blow him to ashes. Mr. Chumo, what are you doing here? What happened on Earth? The gods, see, clearly here. Therefore, his attitude towards Chumo is even more respectful. He is a ruthless guy. If he kills, he will kill. Even Sun Wukong has his whole body broken. This level of powerhouse, destroying the earth is a matter of minutes. Of course, he must treat it very respectfully. Heavenly God, don't be so afraid, I just want to stay here for a while and practice here. Looking at the terrified god, Chumo tried his best to appear peaceful. I am not a beast that eats people, and I don't want to become that kind of person because of my strength. You give me convenience, and if I have anything in the future, I can also give you convenience. Chumo continued. This is a transaction. The Temple of Heaven assists him in his cultivation, and he also keeps the peace of the Temple of Heaven and the earth. That's fine, that's easier to understand. After all, the gods have seen the world, and such conditions will make him more satisfied and mutually beneficial. Vic stopped at the side but was confused. Chumo was so strong, why did he practice in a place like the Temple of Heaven? Chumo was practicing in the Temple of Heaven. Although Piccolo said no, he was very honest. From time to time, I secretly watched Chumo's practice, hoping to find a way to quickly increase his combat power. But soon he was disappointed. He thought that Chumo was pretending to learn from those extremely simple things. No, this is all a burden. Mr. Chumo, your punching is not straightforward enough. Here should be the application of restraining chi. The heart must be still, the person must be still, the body must be moving, and the chi must be smooth. Observed Chumo's movements and made pointers from time to time. Then Chumo understood and constantly adjusted his movements, trying his best to achieve the state of lifting weights as lightly as water. This kind of situation made Piccolo look inexplicable. Could it be that this guy really doesn't even know the basics? How can it be? Such a powerful powerhouse, don't they have no foundation? Looking at his fighting skills, he is very powerful, just like Sun Wukong. I don't understand. Vic had a headache for Chumo. It seemed that in front of him, he was an idiot and couldn't figure it out. Time flies. Every day, Chumo is growing rapidly, and soon a year has passed. Chumo was wearing the orange-red heavy-duty clothes, and he floated in the air with his legs crossed, surrounded by circles of transparent aura emitting. Like a mirage, the entire space is slightly distorted. Boom! The white air wave suddenly erupted, and the cold and severe wind swept up the dust floating around, and the diffused cyclone swirled in the momentum. The terrifying aura continued to emit, and even though Chumo was consciously restraining the aura, there was still a lot of it. Not far away, Tiantian and Piccolo all looked at all this with a blank expression, and they were all used to Chumo's magic. After a long time, Chumo breathed a sigh of relief, opened his heart to feel the new power, and then restrained his breath with satisfaction. As his breath was taken away, the breath that spread all over the Temple of Heaven began to disappear. Chumo opened his attribute interface. Chumo, male. Age, years old. Combat strength, billions. Basic combat strength, billion. Super Saiyan. Bloodline, Super Saiyan. Super ability, space control. Skills, chi perception, sky dance, afterimage fist, turtle qigong wave, magic flash, teleportation, death beam, death energy bomb, kai king fist, yuan chi bomb. Although I didn't break through the Super Saiyan, I can finally use the power of the Super Saiyan now. This is also a good thing. Chumo thought silently in his heart. Finally saved. This guy almost didn't destroy the temple of this day. Wiped the cold sweat from her forehead. It was horrible. Fortunately, Chumo, you will restrain yourself in time, otherwise my temple will be gone today. The god said half-jokingly. I will pay attention to this, and try to be more careful in the future. Chumo looked embarrassed. He was so cool just now that he almost forgot that this was not in the spiritual time room. Fortunately, the response was timely and most of the power was collected. In the future. Try to. Piccolo's face turned green with fright. This guy is too scary. Tianshan is also constantly wiping his sweat. Don't be so tossed anymore, he still wants to live a few more years. After the advanced system training, Chumo felt that although his combat power had not increased much, it had actually increased by 2 or 3 times. Has Sun Wukong come out of the spiritual time house? Chumo asked. Since this Sun Wukong was crushed and defeated by Chumo, he has been much more diligent in his cultivation. However, he still felt that it was not enough, so he simply entered the Temple of Heaven to practice, and made an agreement with Chumo to challenge Chumo when he came out. Calculate the time, it should be almost the same. Said that he had great confidence in Sun Wukong and felt that he had a good chance to defeat Chumo. Chumo thought about it and said, I'll go get some fairy beans. Then fly straight towards the top below. Fairy bean, that is Dragon Ball's healing artifact. Even Sun Wukong and Vegeta in the dark blue state in the later stage can recover instantly with a fairy bean after consuming their stamina. See how powerful this is. Because he was busy with cultivation before, Chumo never thought of asking Immortal Cat for immortal beans, but immortal beans was what he was determined to get in this trip. Chapter 11 Find some fairy beans. The bloodline of Chaosai, coupled with the healing effect of fairy beans, can't be more anticipated than this combination. At this moment, the immortal cat was resting on the bench with a leisurely face, and suddenly, it felt a powerful breath approaching it. When he opened his eyes, he saw that Chumo had appeared in front of him at some point. Immortal Mao was startled, jumped up directly, rubbed his eyes and asked, You are Chumo. You are not cultivating above, what's the matter with me? The cat immortal has not been in contact with Chumo, and has always been afraid of this terrifying guy. This is the natural fear of the weak for the super strong. Chumo went straight to the point and asked, Cat immortal, how many immortal beans do you have here? Shondo. The cat immortal's squinted eyes opened a little. The immortal beans have been eaten by that kid Yakiluobe all these years, and now it's just 1. Having said that, the cat fairy looked at Yakilobe, who was dozing off to the side. Well, yeah, almost forgot about this. Damn Yakilobe. Chumo looked over. In an instant, Yakilobe, who was still dozing, woke up. He felt in his sleep that he seemed to be stared at by some terrifying monster, and immediately woke up. Who are you? Seeing Chumo's terrifying eyes, Yakilobe's first reaction was, run away. Don't move, Yakilobe, this is Mr. Chumo. The cat fairy was afraid that Yakiluobe's behavior would cause Chumo's displeasure, and then directly killed him. Yakiluobe and Cat Immortal have been together for a long time. Naturally, I heard that Cat Immortal said about Chumo, a mysterious powerhouse, and knew that the other party was cultivating in the Temple of Heaven. But I didn't expect that this evil star actually had time to come down here today, and depending on the situation, the evil star's attitude seemed very unhappy. Hey, that Lord Chumo, how come you have time to come down here today? Yakilobe dared to ask cautiously. Chumo stared at Yakiluobe for a while, and felt like he wanted to kill him with a palm. But in the face of Sun Wukong and Cat Shanren, he felt that there was no need to have the same knowledge as this lazy guy. From today, if you can't do these 3 points, I will kill you directly. Chumo's eyes made Yakilobe hairy, and when he heard this, he immediately answered loudly, Mr. Chumo, please say, I will definitely do it. For the sake of his own life, Yakilobe can now agree to any conditions. First, you eat fairy beans again, and if you find out, I will kill you directly. Second, you have to prepare more than 10,000 caddies of food for the Temple of Heaven every month. If you lose a caddy, you will be killed. Third, you have to help the cat fairy to plant fairy beans, and there will be no more than one every year in the future, you know. Chumo felt that he had to do something for this guy, or he felt that he couldn't help but kill this guy. Ah, no problem, I'll do it. Yakilobe answered quickly. This is for you. The cat immortal quickly threw the remaining immortal beans to Chumo. Chumo accepted it happily, and then said, I won't treat you badly. There are 10 tons of fish in this capsule, which is a deal for you and me. Good. No problem, happy transaction. By the way, how is the output of this fairy bean? After accepting the fairy beans, Chumo asked suddenly. The cat fairy shook his head and said, the cultivation of fairy beans needs to be irrigated with divine water. I only produce 100 or so a year in Kalanta, and the production has been getting lower and lower in recent years. Is that so? Chumo nodded regretfully. Thinking for a while, he reminded kindly, Cat Immortal, this immortal bean is a good thing. Its function is not only to eliminate hunger and restore physical strength. I think its therapeutic effect is the most important. I suggest if you expand the planting a little, maybe it will come in handy in the future. Quote. You must know that there will be many strong men like me in the future. The universe is very big. You plant this to prepare the logistics for Sun Wukong and the others. The cat immortal touched his beard and nodded, but Chumo's words gave it a wake-up call. In the past, there were no powerful enemies on Earth, so the importance of fairy beans was not highlighted. But not being able to use it in the past does not mean that it will not be used in the future. Especially when there is such a magical thing as Dragon Ball on the Earth, it will attract the coveting of other powerhouses at any time. As a healing medicine, fairy beans are indeed essential. Well, I see. I will try to expand the cultivation of fairy beans. However, the cultivation of fairy beans requires shenshui. Unfortunately, it is not easy for shenshui to condense, so no one knows how much the output of fairy beans can be improved. You can try all kinds of things first. As long as you have fairy beans, I will get you more fish. Chumo showed a bright smile and said with a bewitching expression on his face. P.S. Ask for some flower tickets, everyone, good luck. Chapter 12 Sign in with Brawly. Wow, a lot of fish, I like it. As soon as he heard that there were more fish in the future, a burst of stars appeared in the cat fairy's eyes. As long as the cat fairy is willing to expand the planting area of fairy beans, the output will increase more or less. Moreover, Chumo has also threatened Yakilobe now, and he will definitely not dare to eat it in the future. After saying goodbye to Immortal Cat, Chumo returned directly to the temple. After returning to the temple, Chumo suddenly had something important. He suddenly remembered that he forgot to ask the cat fairy about the super divine water. That is something that can develop potential, isn't it a pity to miss it? But then he shook his head again. Forget it, super shenshui doesn't look like a safe product. For ordinary people, super divine water is poison. Because it stimulates potential is too overbearing. In the anime, Sun Wukong also survived 9 deaths, and he was able to carry it over with the blood of the Saiyans. Chumo even had some doubts. It was precisely because he drank super divine water and used Zhuang Fist many times in the later period that Sun Wukong's heart muscle was prematurely strained. To suffer from viral heart disease. Seriously, as a fighting nation, Saiyans, the power core of the body, the heart, how can there be problems when they say problems? For individuals with extremely high combat effectiveness, ordinary foreign germs cannot cause much damage to them. The immune system in their body is beyond ordinary. As soon as the germ enters the body, it is engulfed by the immune cells in the body fluid. And Sun Wukong actually suffered from viral heart disease, mostly because of some reasons, the body has a weak link. Although it is a guess, Chumo thinks it is better to be careful. Not long after returning to the Temple of Heaven, Chumo received the sign-in task issued by the system. The system said before that it was going to be upgraded, but I didn't expect that the upgrade would take a year, and Chumo became impatient. Ding! The upgrade is complete. Now release a new sign-in task. Find Brawly, rub him on the ground for 1 minute, and complete the sign-in task. Task period. Days. If it expires, the system will stop working for 10 years. After this upgrade, the system doesn't feel so reliable. Chumo was speechless. Press and rub on the ground to complete the check-in, which is a bit weird. To find Brawly, Vegeta can only wait there, otherwise you can only ask Shenlong for help. The ghost knows where the new Vegeta planet is, and Chumo decided to prepare with both hands. While going to Bulma's house to watch Vegeta and waiting for Paragus. While going to borrow the Dragon Ball radar, summon the Earth Dragon to find Brawly. Using teleportation, Chumo drove directly to Bulma's house. Chumo, what are you doing with me? Vegeta was startled when she suddenly saw another figure beside her. After seeing that it was Chumo who killed Frieza a year ago, he was immediately excited. Haha, I have broken through Super Saiyan. I want to challenge you. I want to prove that I am the strongest. Vegeta said proudly that after breaking through the Super Saiyan, his self-confidence was bursting. I didn't come to you. I'm not interested in your strength. He just turned into a Super Saiyan, and he dared to challenge him. He was really impatient. It seems that this Saiyan prince is starting to babble again. But according to the usual practice, after the chatter, the Super Saiyan began to be worthless. How dare you look down on me? Damn it. Then you have to have that ability to make me look up to you. You just broke through the Super Saiyan, what a shit. Chumo said disdainfully, that even Sun Wukong was no match for his own move, let alone Vegeta, who had just become a Super Saiyan. Come on then, I must teach you a lesson and let you know that I am a Saiyan genius. Vegeta laughed angrily. Well, it seems that Sun Wukong has already broken through the Super Saiyan, and you have just broken through. What qualifications do you have to say that you are a Saiyan genius? Chumo still had a calm expression on his face, and he didn't put Vegeta in his eyes at all. But, damn bastard, you're more annoying than that guy Kakarot. The muscles on Vegeta's face twitched, obviously quite angry. Vegeta, do ent fight. Bulma heard the voice and came out of the house, trying to stop Vegeta. But Vegeta jumped out and appeared in front of Chumo in an instant. He punched Chumo fiercely. However, after 2 years on Earth, Vegeta has changed a lot, and he didn't kill him this time. Looks like this guy has started to change and won't kill at every turn. Looking at Bulma who just came out, and at Vegeta, Chumo sneered in his heart. Bastard, take it seriously. Seeing Chumo so careless, Vegeta was angry. P.S. Comrades, do you think you should drink super divine water? Was Sun Wukong poisoned by supernatural water? Ask for a wave of flowers. Chapter 13 Vegeta's Challenge. You are too slow. Seeing that Vegeta was about to hit him, Chumo moved and took a step back. Vegeta's fist emptied immediately. Damn. Vegeta froze, turned around, and punched again. Looking at Vegeta's fist that quickly swept towards him, this time Chumo also punched out. Boom. The next second, the fists of the two collided heavily. Almost at the moment of collision, they separated again. Beep, beep. Vegeta was directly shaken back more than 10 meters before he stabilized his body. Chumo, on the other hand, had a leisurely look on his face, as if the circle just took no effort at all. So strong. This guy is so good at making temporary shots. Vegeta had a shocked look on his face. Although his punch was tentative, it was definitely not weak. Unexpectedly, this Chumo shot temporarily, not only took it, but also shocked himself back. So strong, he can actually knock Vegeta back. Who is this guy? He's quite handsome. Bulma was equally shocked. Vegeta has lived here for 2 years, and Bulma knows how powerful he is, and Yamcha can't even take a punch from Vegeta. Unexpectedly, this young man from nowhere is actually so powerful. Vegeta, since you have broken through the Super Saiyan, let me see how powerful your Super Saiyan is. You can't beat me like this. Chumo spread his hands and said with a smile. The strength of this Vegeta is actually quite good. It has been cultivated under 4 times the gravity all the year round. In some aspects, it is much stronger than Sun Wukong. If that's the case, then let you see what is really powerful. Vegeta glared at Chumo, Super Saiyan, the strongest warrior in this universe. Chumo said lightly, Super Saiyan is indeed the strongest fighter, but it is not your Super Saiyan. Don't be naive to think that you can defeat me by becoming a Super Saiyan. Arrogant, today I, Vegeta, must let me know the power of Super Saiyan. But this place is not suitable for fighting, come with me. Vegeta lived here for 2 years. He didn't look at the monk's face to look at the Buddha's face. When he saw Bulma coming out, he felt guilty. Cannibalism is short, and Vegeta is no exception. It looks like I won't be able to beat you. Oh, I really didn't come to fight, it's really troublesome. Miss Bulma, I'll be looking for you when the fight is over. After that, he flew out of the western capital with Vegeta. Oh, is there something to ask me? This handsome guy is quite polite. Bulma thought with some nympho. Shish. The two came to a desolate and populated area, followed by Yamcha, Keelan and others. They also happened to be staying at Bulma's house, and when they heard that Vegeta was going to go out with Chumo, they naturally wouldn't miss this opportunity. Humph. It's big enough here. Vegeta turned around and said to Chumo with a cold smile on her face. Isn't it a Super Saiyan? What's so amazing? Really, I hope you can be so arrogant for a while. Vegeta gritted her teeth tightly. Since breaking through Super Saiyan, Vegeta feels like he has surpassed Son Goku. So, before challenging Sun Wukong, let's take this mysterious Chumo. Krillin, do you think Vegeta can do it? Yamcha looked at the two of them, a little speechless. Of course Vegeta can't do it. Wukong was beaten to death by this Chumo before. Vegeta is far behind. Keelan is worthy of being the best friend of Sun Wukong. He believes that Vegeta cannot be Sun Wukong's opponent. It will not be Chumo's opponent. Damn, you don't believe me. Vegeta was even more angry when she heard the conversation between Yamcha and Keelan. He was underestimated. The fists were tightly clenched, and a terrifying golden aura burst out directly from the body. Ha. With a low roar, Vegeta's hair turned golden, and a hurricane swept in all directions with Vegeta as the center. Vegeta's feet cracked instantly, and the gravel was suspended in midair. It's really not bad. Your Super Saiyan's fighting power is stronger than that of Sun Wukong, who didn't use Kai Wangquan last year. Gao felt the terrifying aura, Chumo said lightly. How is it? You are frightened by the anger I exude. Ha. Vegeta is shy. With his current strength, he can definitely kill Frieza in seconds. You're too self-righteous, Vegeta, you can't catch a punch. Chumo said lightly, and then hooked his fingers towards Vegeta. Damn, you are courting death. The moment Vegeta's voice fell, she charged directly at Chumo. So soon. Keelan and Yamcha were horrified. Vegeta's speed and strength have indeed been greatly improved after becoming a Super Saiyan. Appeared in front of Chumo almost instantly. Chapter 14 New Planet Vegeta. Boom. Vegeta's fist landed heavily on Chumo's palm. However, Chumo didn't do anything, and didn't move half a step. What? Vegeta was shocked, it was impossible. Well, I knew it was the result. Krillin shrugged, the result they saw last year in Sun Wukong. Krillin's attitude made Vegeta even more angry and attacked even more frantically. Bang bang bang. In an instant, Vegeta appeared in front of Chumo again, and his fists attacked Chumo like a phantom. It's boring. You have to practice again. Chumo showed a trace of disdain. It's over. What? Vegeta was startled, and before he could figure it out, he felt himself flying. Then it was dark in front of him, and he passed out directly. It's so strong, I really killed Vegeta with one punch. Although Yamcha saw that Sun Wukong was beaten badly by Chumo, he was shocked again now. He couldn't even hold Vegeta's punch, and he didn't expect that Vegeta couldn't even hold Chumo's punch. You take him back, I'll go first. Chumo said a word to Kaylin and the two of them, and then flew to Bulma's house. Where's Vegeta? Seeing that Chumo came back alone, Bulma couldn't help asking, handsome guy, what's your name? Chumo, a friend of Sun Wukong. Vegeta was knocked out by me. Chumo explained the situation very simply. I didn't expect him to be today. He always looks like he's looking good. However, he was beaten so badly by you today that he will inevitably find you to continue to challenge him in the future. Bulma obviously didn't take it to heart, knowing that Chumo didn't kill Vegeta. Whatever he is, I don't mind. By the way, can you borrow Dragon Ball radar for me? I have something to do with Shenlong. Since I didn't see Paragus looking for Vegeta here, I can only find it myself. Waiting is not Chumo's style. Are you going to summon the dragon? Okay, I'll get it to you right away. Bulma is no longer so obsessed with summoning the dragon now, so she simply gave the Dragon Ball radar to Chumo. After getting the Dragon Ball radar, it took Chumo 2 hours to find all 7 Dragon Balls. Come out, Shenlong. Chumo summoned the dragon on the Temple of Heaven, with Sun Wukong standing beside him. When this guy heard that Chumo was going to an interesting place, he immediately shouted to go together. Chumo felt that the fateful enemies of Sun Wukong and Broly should also meet, so he agreed to take him with him. Immediately, the entire sky became dark, and lightning and thunder continued, and a green dragon began to appear in the golden light. The gods and on the side looked at Chumo's figure, and their eyes were complicated for a while. Whoever called me, say your wishes. I can help you make any wishes come true. Shenlong said to Chumo in front of him. Me and Sun Wukong want to go to planet Vegeta, can we do it? Although Chumo knew that this dragon was bragging, he didn't mind, and sending him to planet Vegeta shouldn't be a problem for this dragon. No problem, I'll send you to planet New Vegeta right now. Shenlong's eyes shot 2 red lights, shining on Chumo. Chumo only felt that an afterimage flashed in front of him, and when he focused his eyes again, he realized that he was no longer in the Temple of Heaven on Earth. Sure enough, it's more convenient than teleportation, and you don't need to sense the breath of the other party. Comparing the teleportation, Chumo felt that the dragon's ability was really good. Wow, the gravity of this planet is like a mental time house, so amazing. Monkey King turned into a curious baby, checking everywhere. The gravity on the new Vegeta planet is 10 times that of the Earth, but for Chumo, who has long practiced in the spiritual time room, it is nothing. After a little perception, Chumo found the highest combat power position on this planet. This aura is really strong, much stronger than Monkey King and Vegeta, and the Super Saiyans really deserve their reputation. This breath is very powerful, but when Chumo perceives it, he feels that it contains a very violent breath. He also understands that this is the reason why Broly can't control Chuan Chao's transformation. Come on, our target is over there. Chumo said lightly. On the new planet Vegeta, Paragus is thinking about how to convince Prince Vegeta to join the new planet Vegeta. He only learned a few days ago that Frieza had been killed by a Super Saiyan 2 years ago. There are not many Saiyans left in the entire universe now, so Paragus wants to gather these Saiyans and revitalize the Saiyan family. However, he is not so kind, he just wants to be the king of Saiyans. Chapter 15 Monkey King vs. Broly. Especially, when Paragus knew that the Saiyan Prince Vegeta was also alive, he couldn't wait to carry out this plan. He wants Prince Vegeta to admit that he, Pelagus, is the new king of the Saiyans. Looking at Broly on the side, Paragus felt proud for a while. As long as this powerful son was there, the so-called Prince Vegeta would soon be trampled under his feet. And he will become the new king of Saiyans. Broly, who is tall and tall, has dim eyes and looks expressionless, as if everything has nothing to do with him. Suddenly, Broly looked up at the sky. Two figures appeared there. What's the matter, Broly? Don't worry, with you. Pirahas followed Broly's gaze and found two figures appearing in the sky. Who? Paragus was a little flustered when an outsider came here, but after seeing Broly, he calmed down again. It doesn't matter to you what I am, I didn't come for you. Broly, let's fight. Paragus, who has less than 10,000 combat power, Chumo is too lazy to pay attention to him. If this guy didn't control Broly, it would be impossible to find any waves. Broly, kill them for me. To dare to speak to him like that, Paragus was furious. Lifting his right hand, the controller in the palm of the hand appeared a touch of pale green light. Ah ah ah. Then, a beast-like growl came from Broly's throat. Broly's body suddenly swelled in a circle, and grass-green arrogance instantly rose from the soles of his feet. Kakarot, Kakarot. Broly stared at Sun Wukong and roared out, almost his entire body trembling with rage. Afterwards, the raging flames in both eyes surged towards Sun Wukong step by step. Every time you take a step, the hard ground under your feet cracks instantly, and a clear footprint appears. This guy is so vengeful, he even remembers the vengeance he was born with to this day. Chumo looked at Broly coldly, and he suddenly felt that Broly was actually pitiful. Chumo, is this guy the legendary Super Saiyan you mentioned earlier? Such a strong breath. Sun Wukong smacked, and Broly just now didn't feel anything powerful. The breath is not even as good as that of Paragus. I didn't expect that at this moment, it would become so terrifying in an instant. This Chi even surpassed himself. I am so excited, I didn't expect there to be such a formidable opponent. Sun Wukong looked at Chumo, how about I fight him first? As you wish. Chumo took a step back and let go. Broly, let me meet you. Looking at Broly walking step by step, Sun Wukong clenched his fists, looking very excited, and then instantly turned into a Super Saiyan. With a kick of the right foot on the ground, the body went directly towards Broly. Bang! Monkey King punched Broly's chest hard. However, Broly did not respond. His body did not move at all, and he was still walking towards Sun Wukong step by step. Kakarot. Kakarot's name was still called out in his mouth. It can be seen how deep his resentment for Kakarot is. This guy is really terrifying. After being punched by Sun Wukong, he has no reaction at all. Now Sun Wukong is the full power of a Super Saiyan, and his strength is several times stronger. Chumo couldn't help being secretly startled, to know that Sun Wukong's current strength, because of his appearance, has reached the full power of Super Saiyan ahead of time. Unexpectedly, he still can't help this Broly. You know, this guy is not in the form of Chuan Chao yet. If it becomes an unconscious Chuan Chao, Broly's strength will skyrocket again, reaching a terrifying state. Great! At this moment, Sun Wukong felt even more excited. The body jumped high again, and then a sweep of the leg directly swept the neck of Broly. Bang! There was a muffled sound, but the result remained the same. Broly didn't move at all, still staring at Sun Wukong. Turtle School Qigong. Sun Wukong felt the danger, and immediately sent out a turtle Qigong with both hands. Boom! The turtle school Qigong hit Broly in the chest. Rumbling. The smoke of gunpowder rose, the ground shook violently, and a huge hole appeared. When the smoke cleared, Broly was still unscathed. Nothing at all. Sun Wukong looked at Broly in astonishment. His attack just now did not cause any damage to Broly at all. However, he would not give up easily, his body suddenly flashed and he punched. Bang! Broly was finally kicked out. But it doesn't look like the injury is serious. Chapter 16 The Legendary Super Saiyan. Kakarot, I'm going to kill you. Broly clenched his fist, and scarlet cracks instantly appeared in his eyes. Ah! ha. The thunderous roar echoed around for a long time, and at that moment, Brawly's anger began to soar. The entire sky instantly turned dark, from day to night. Countless blue thunderbolts poured down from the sky. The entire planet trembled wildly at this moment, as if welcoming the birth of a king. Ah ah ah. The roar continued, and the breath was still skyrocketing wildly. Quick, stop it, Brawly, don't transform. Seeing Brawly's appearance, Paragus panicked. He knows very well what Brawly wants to do. Once Brawly becomes that form, he will completely lose consciousness and become a powerful murder tool. The 6 relatives do not recognize each other, not to mention Kakarot. Even his own father will be killed by Brawly. The entire galaxy, and even the entire universe, will be destroyed. Thinking of this, Paragus hurriedly raised his right hand, and the controller in his palm flashed frantically with grass green light. The golden hoop on Brawly's forehead also glowed. Seemingly affected, Brawly's mood gradually eased down again. The legendary Super Saiyan is really powerful. Sun Wukong smacked. Just now Brawly's breath is no longer comparable to an ordinary Super Saiyan. Now you know how powerful it is. If this guy loses consciousness, it will be even more powerful. Chumo smiled. If Brawly becomes Xuanchao, how terrifying it will be. Chumo is looking forward to it. Brawly was calm for more than 10 seconds, and Barparagus finally breathed a sigh of relief. But it didn't take long for Brawly's eyes to have a beast-like gleam again. Kakarot. With a roar, the breath surged uncontrollably again. The grass-green arrogance swept away in all directions one after another. In an instant, the entire sky turned directly into grass-green. Kacha. The golden hoop on Brawly's forehead cracked directly. Goo goo. The muscles in the whole body doubled in strength again. Brawly, who was originally 2 meters tall, now looks at least 3 meters tall, with a sense of strength. Rustling. Grass-green arrogance swirled wildly around Brawly's body. At this time, Brawly's hair turned grass-green, and there were no pupils in his eyes, which were empty and pale before. Kakarot, I want you to die. At the same time as Brawly's voice fell, his body burst out and punched Sun Wukong. Bang! Before Sun Wukong could react, he was punched into the distance, directly smashing several mountains. However, Brawly didn't intend to end it like this. He continued to fly over and punched again. Chumo knew that it was time for him to make a move, and Sun Wukong, the full-power Super Saiyan, was not the opponent of this Super Saiyan. This was really beyond his expectations. Seeing the power of Xuanchao Brawly, Chumo did not hesitate, and with a shock of his arms, he directly turned into a Super Saiyan full power. He wants to try, pass Brawly, how terrifying his strength is. Bang! As soon as their fists touched, they separated immediately. Chumo's body actually rubbed the ground and flew out, hitting a giant peak heavily. The giant peak instantly turned into countless rubble. The fighting power is really strong. I have at least 100 million fighting power now, but I still lost to him. Nima, didn't you say that this Brawly only has 400 million fighting power? Did he become stronger after defeating Sun Wukong? Chumo shook his right arm, gritted his teeth and muttered. But at the same time, the frenzied fighting in his heart burned completely. Perhaps this time Brawly will be the most difficult opponent he has ever faced. At the same time, it is also his most passionate opponent. If that's the case, then try my full power. Chumo's eyes were straight. He had already clearly felt Brawly's terror in the encounter just now, and it was definitely more than 100 million. He remembered another Brawly. Super Blue Monkey King and Vegeta are not opponents, and the more they fight, the stronger they are. Is it this? Don't care, Super can't do it, then turn into Super Saiyan 2. Ah, ha. Afterwards, Chumo roared loudly, and invisible air waves spread out from the body like a vortex. Stab, stab. In an instant, streaks of blue lightning filled Chumo's body. The golden hair has become more full-bodied at the moment. The golden arrogance shot straight into the sky and turned into a jet. Then it stood up high, leaving only a bunch of bangs swaying wantonly in front of the eyebrows. Chapter 17 Super 2 vs Chuon Super. And Chumo's anger also skyrocketed in an instant. Rustling. The golden arrogance around Chumo's body seems to be boiling completely at this moment, circling crazily. The powerful combat power of Yi is undoubtedly revealed, and the entire planet is shaking. After Broly knocked Chumo back with one punch, he attacked Sun Wukong again without any hesitation. In his eyes, Sun Wukong is the first to kill. Then he squeezed his fists, and at his shoulders, a terrifying pale green energy ball condensed from his chest. Ah! __. Roaring all over, the energy ball blasted towards Sun Wukong. Chumo looked at the energy ball, his eyes suddenly cold. The body flashed, appeared in front of the energy ball, and then rushed directly to the grass green energy ball, and slapped it out with one hand. Call out. The terrifying energy ball was slapped directly by Chumo. Rumbling. The next moment, the energy ball fell directly on the ground. Boom. Almost 1/3 of the ruins were directly turned into dust, and an endless giant pit appeared. A huge mushroom cloud almost filled the entire planet. After Chumo slapped the energy ball with a slap, without any hesitation, his body swept directly to Broly, at an astonishingly fast speed. Broly was also impatient with Chumo, and this guy broke his nirvana again and again. With the belief that he must kill, Broly didn't want to delay for a moment. It also went up to meet Chumo. In an instant, the two fought hundreds of times. Every violent collision will leave traces of destruction on this planet. Looking at the battle between the two, Sun Wukong finally stood up, but the blood on his face showed that he suffered a lot of injuries. Watching the crazy battle between Chumo and Broly, Sun Wukong's eyes showed excitement. This is the legendary Super Saiyan. The strength is really surprising, I didn't expect it to be so strong. And Chumo is not bad, he can be so strong. Sun Wukong felt that the blood in his body was boiling, and he also wanted to join such a battle. But he knows that now he is not enough for this qualification, he is still far from it. I must practice harder, look at it, Chumo, Broly, I will definitely not fall behind you. Sun Wukong's warlike genes were fully activated. Kakarot, feel the taste of this fear. Even in hell, I won't be able to see such an intense picture again. Paragus is a little crazy, he knows that he and others will be killed by Broly. I believe that there will be more battles like this in the future. Chumo, I won't lose. Sun Wukong is very confident. Haha, you are too naive, the legendary Super Saiyan, it's not that simple. Broly has broken free from my control, if he doesn't destroy the entire planet Vegeta. Or even the entire universe, it won't stop. Paragus looked confident. Kakarot, enjoy this feast of terror from hell. Waiting to be killed by Broly. Speaking of this, Paragus' eyes cast a cold light. Resentment, endless resentment. The legendary Super Saiyan. Sun Wukong clenched his fists. Ha 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 ha. The next moment, Sun Wukong suddenly laughed wildly, and the laughter echoed in the sky for a long time. The legendary Super Saiyan, I won't lose to you. Sun Wukong's eyes flickered coldly, and at this moment, he became extremely firm. Aha! At the same time as the thunderous drink fell, Sun Wukong roared. The golden arrogance burst out from Sun Wukong's body instantly, the golden hair stood up high again, and the breath skyrocketed. It directly knocked Pelaga's back hundreds of meters. No, impossible. Paragus looked at Sun Wukong in horror. How could this guy not be influenced by Broly? Moreover, his breath was even stronger than before. On the other side, Broly blasted hundreds of energy balls in an instant, and they fell overwhelmingly. In an instant, the place where Chumo was standing was completely immersed in thick dust and gravel. Ha 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 ha. Looking at the scene in front of him, Broly burst into a frantic laugh. Is it funny? Suddenly, a faint voice came from the thick dust. Broly's laughter stopped abruptly, and then the coldness on his face became more obvious. When the dust dissipated little by little, I saw Chumo's body, and the golden arrogance rushed up. Under his feet, it seemed that the road was not affected by the terrifying explosion. A stone pillar was formed and stood there. Chumo's figure stood on the stone pillar. It seemed that the explosion just now did not have much impact on Sun Wukong. Chapter 18. According to the Super Friction, the sign-in is successful. But, damn it. Broly grinned, his eyes were shaking violently, his body flashed, and he shot directly at Chumo again. Chumo also rushed towards Broly. The speed of the two is quite astonishing, and the distance of several tens of meters has almost reached each other's side in an instant. Bang bang bang. With one punch and one leg, the two of them instantly became inexorable. To this day, the two are still in an evenly matched stance. But Chumo is very clear that this Broly, as the legendary Super Saiyan, his physical fitness will not be affected with the passage of battle time. On the contrary, the more fierce Broly fought, the more he could stimulate the potential in his body. During the battle, the combat power will increase very fast. This is the horror of the legendary Super Saiyan. Although Chumo took a fairy bean from the cat fairy, if he fought with Broly for such a long time, he would definitely not get any advantage. Complete the sign-in first. This system is too tricky. You have to press Broly to the ground for 1 minute before you can complete the sign-in. Chumo secretly complained that the system was too pitiful. For 1 minute, even if he can hold down Broly, with this guy's brutality, it's enough to destroy the planet more than a dozen times. That being the case, only superpowers can be used. Remote control. Done. Chumo's hands were in the shape of a lotus and aimed at Broly's body. I saw Broly, who is still a god of war, suddenly stopped, as if being controlled by an invisible force. What's the matter? Broly is restrained. Paragus was shocked, how could this Chumo man be so terrifying? Haha, what Xuanchao, it's not the same as being restrained by superpowers. Chumo was overjoyed, but he didn't know how long it would last. Because in just a few seconds, he felt that his mental power was consumed a lot, and he felt dizzy. Chumo grabbed Broly's head with his right hand and rubbed it on the ground. Rub, rub, rub on smooth ground. What about Xuanchao? 10 seconds. 20 seconds. 30 seconds. Chumo kept counting the time, punched and rubbed Broly directly under his feet. Broly's face was flushed with anger, and his eyes were like a beast. But he couldn't break free from this weird bondage, he couldn't move. 60 seconds, time is up. Chumo felt that his mental power was almost exhausted, and he felt dizzy. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the sign-in task and getting the sign-in gift package. Do you want to turn it on now? Temporarily closed. Now is a tense time. Chumo doesn't want to open the gift bag so quickly. Just when Chumo was immersed in the system, Broly over there finally broke free. He immediately raised his head to make a roaring sound, and then saw him spread his palms and aim at Chumo. Huh. Seeing Broly take this stance, Chumo's brows wrinkled slightly. The next second, a cyan energy ball condensed on Broly's palms. Call out. After the energy ball condensed and formed, it blasted directly at Chumo. At first, the energy ball was only about the size of a fist. But on the way towards Chumo, it immediately expanded rapidly at a speed visible to the naked eye. When he was in front of Chumo, the energy ball that was about the size of a fist had become more than 10 meters in size. Seeing this huge energy ball hit, Chumo's heart sank to the bottom. At the same time as the huge energy ball rolled in, Chumo immediately released all the power in his body. After the energy of 100 million combat power was released, a huge golden energy arrogance suddenly appeared on Chumo's body. After Chumo released all his power, he immediately spread out his palms. The violent energy in his body, following his arms, instantly gathered on his palms. Turtle School Qigong. In the next second, a dazzling light radiated from Chumo's palms and instantly hit Broly's energy ball. Zzz. At the moment when the turtle school Qigong and the energy ball collided, energy sparks scattered and splashed in all directions. Lightning flashes above the sky. The entire new Vegeta planet was shaking. Right now, this scene seems to be like the end of the world is about to come. Chumo's turtle Qigong and Broly's energy ball were deadlocked for more than 10 seconds. Die. At this time, Chumo suddenly exerted force again. The turtle school Qigong was like a destructive force, and directly pushed Broly's energy ball back. How is this possible? This guy actually blocked Broly's energy ball back. Paragus saw the scene in front of him, and there was a rare shock on his old face. Chapter 19 _ The next second, he noticed that Broly actually spread his arms, as if he wanted to catch the turtle Qigong and energy balls that bounced back. Paragus' face changed greatly. Broly, hurry up and dodge. Broly, who was in a state of rage, couldn't hear what Paragus said, and took the energy ball that fell in front of him with his palms. At this moment, Broly's body seemed to be under 10,000 pounds of pressure, and his legs sank directly into the ground. The ground beneath his feet sank in an instant. Roar! The violent Broly roared, and a powerful energy arrogance emanated from his body. But unfortunately, at that moment, the powerful energy of the turtle Qigong and the energy ball directly annihilated Broly's body. At this moment, there was a brief silence between heaven and earth. Boom! After a few breaths, a huge explosion occurred. The entire planet of New Vegeta is covered with cracks like spider webs. Everywhere, magma columns are being ejected. A huge deep pit appeared in Broly's place, and the deep pit was so dark that it was impossible to see the end. At the same time, a column of crimson magma emerged from the crack of the huge deep pit. The planet is over. Chumo breathed a sigh of relief, then ate a fairy bean to regain his strength. Come on, Sun Wukong, mission accomplished. This planet is about to explode. With that said, Chumo threw an immortal bean, and this guy was seriously injured. Oh, that's the end of it. What's he going to do then? Sun Wukong pointed to Paragus. Good job. Death beam. Hey. A red light shot out from Chumo's finger, directly penetrating Paragus. Chumo, why did you want to kill him? Sun Wukong was a little dissatisfied. What do you think he's here for? He wants to rule the universe like Frieza. Are you trying to save him? Chumo is even more upset. You, Sun Wukong, want to let anyone go? If so, Chumo doesn't mind killing him. Being kind-hearted and soft-hearted, and still doing this to the enemy, it is better to kill this Monkey King directly, so as not to upset yourself. What about anime protagonists? Now he is the protagonist. Oh, forget it, since he wants to dominate the universe, let him die like this. Fortunately, Sun Wukong's answer was reasonable. He had just dealt with an evil emperor of the universe like Frieza, and he didn't care too much about killing people. Then let's go back to Earth. It is very convenient to have a momentary movement, as long as you remember the breath once, it is very convenient to go back and forth. Hey. Hey. Chumo and Sun Wukong nodded their foreheads and returned directly to the Temple of Heaven on Earth. Chumo, you are amazing, you can surpass the Super Saiyan. I will continue to practice hard. Sun Wukong saw Chumo's Super Saiyan form and knew that he was not his opponent at all, so he temporarily gave up this challenge. I call this Super Saiyan, you can do it too, I'm waiting for your challenge. Chumo smiled and said that he was still looking forward to the completion of the sign-in task this time. Super Saiyan, okay, I get it. I'll definitely keep trying. After that, Sun Wukong left the Temple of Heaven. It should be looking for Kiki to do something indescribable. Vic watched Chumo and Sun Wukong leave, and then came back, feeling very uncomfortable, feeling as if he had drawn a distance from each other again. Damn, are all Super Saiyans so perverted? I must surpass you, Sun Wukong, Chumo. He was very unwilling, and the dignified generation of great demon kings was reduced to the point of making soy sauce. Back in the room of the Temple of Heaven, Chumo began to call the system. Now open the sign-in package. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully opening the sign-in package and obtaining the skill fluorescent energy shield. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Xuanchao bloodline. Super bloodline. As soon as he heard this, Chumo remembered the scene of Brawly going crazy. Damn, this super bloodline doesn't seem to be so easy to use. System, can I refuse? After all, some things can be wanted and some things cannot. After the host merges with the super bloodline, he has the same ability as Brawly, and can transform into the legendary Super Saiyan. But after transforming, he will also lose his mind and run wild. Damn it, you will lose your mind, that's useless. Chumo refused in his heart. Although the legendary Super Saiyans like Brawly are quite different from the acquired ones like Sun Wukong, there is a world of difference in strength and talent. But, hearing the second half of the system, after transforming, he will lose his mind and run wild. Chumo suddenly felt as if he was being thrown into a pot of cold water when he was passionate. If this is the case, then he will become a monster who only knows how to kill, just like Brawly. This will not work. System, after integrating the super bloodline, can I still transform into a normal Super Saiyan? After thinking for a while, Chumo asked again. Chapter 20 signing in on the 18th. Yes, the host can choose to transform into an ordinary Super Saiyan, or he can choose to transform into a legendary Super Saiyan. Can you still do this? That's acceptable, Chumo is overjoyed. In this way, after he integrates the Xuanchao bloodline, he is equivalent to having the talent and potential of a legendary Super Saiyan like Brawly. The difference is that as long as he doesn't choose to transform into a Super Saiyan, he won't lose his mind. Are you fused with the super bloodline? Fusion. This time, Chumo did not hesitate, and immediately chose to merge. As soon as the words fell, Chumo felt a strong and violent aura emerging from his body. Although he had a very powerful force, the bloodthirsty impulse made even Chumo very shocked. Hopefully there will never be a chance to transform into a Super Saiyan. Chumo secretly said something in his heart. After all, Xuanchao is like a time bomb. Once activated, he will become like Brawly and lose his mind. 2 years passed quickly, and everything was similar to the plot. The appearance of the number and the number attracted the attention of Sun Wukong and others, and then they fought. However, due to the appearance of Chumo, the strength of Sun Wukong, Vegeta and others greatly increased, and the two were so abused that they directly doubted their lives. It's too strong, Wukong and the others are not a problem to deal with this android. In the Temple of the Gods, the God of Heaven sensed what happened to Sun Wukong and the others, and was immediately very happy. Don't make such a fuss. They have been provoked by me for 3 years. If they still don't grow like this, they might as well die. Chumo said leisurely while lying on a chair. In 2 years, his combat power has doubled, and it is not too easy to deal with these androids. This Xuanchao Saiyan bloodline is different. It will automatically increase its combat power every year. No wonder Brawly is so strong. If it hadn't been transformed, he would have lost his mind. Xuanchao is the strongest warrior in the universe. Chumo couldn't help feeling overwhelmed. Sleeping can also increase combat effectiveness. Nothing is easier than this. And Sun Wukong has not broken through the Super Saiyan for 2 years, so Chumo can't help but wonder if this guy is being lazy. However, the strength of Vegeta and Piccolo, stimulated by Chumo, was several times stronger than the anime. Vegeta almost realized the full power of the Super Saiyan, except that the endurance is not as good as that of Sun Wukong, and the combat power is basically the same. In the past 2 years, Sun Wukong and Vegeta have fought more than a dozen times, and they are all tied. It can be considered that Vegeta has a bad anger that has been suppressed by Sun Wukong in the anime, but Vegeta seems to be even worse now, because it is Chumo who suppresses him. This one is stronger and more hanging. As for Pic, because he didn't merge with the gods, although he was much stronger than before, he was much worse than Su, Sun Wukong and Vegeta. However, the abuse of numbers and numbers is not a problem. Just when Chumo thought he could be so leisurely, the system that had not responded for 2 years appeared again. Ding! Release a new sign-in task. The host must complete the sign-in on the number within days. Complete the check-in conditions. The host must hold the number for more than a minute. Your sister, isn't that the fear of making the young master a flower thief? Is there something wrong with this system upgrade? Chumo felt that this was a bit embarrassing. If he had a uniform number, it would be alright. Holding the sign-in, it would be too exciting. The host can choose to give up. Give up. The ghost gave up. If this task is not done, I will not miss this opportunity. In this case, the number cannot be absorbed. No, sister and brother have been defeated. Chumo suddenly noticed from his perception that the sister and brother lost to Vegeta and Piccolo, but Sun Wukong was still the same, had a heart attack, and left the stage early. What kind of artificial person? It's just garbage. Don't you have the genes of our Saiyans? Why are you so vulnerable? Vegeta was very embarrassed. Although he was suppressed by Chumo for several years, now he has no pressure to deal with this so-called world-destroying android. Damn, why are you so powerful? This is completely different from the data. No, very depressed. How is the combat power of Vegeta and Piccolo different from what Dr. Gro said? Their siblings lost terribly. Due to the strength of Vegeta and Piccolo, the meeting between number 1 and Krillin did not happen. Am I going to die? Is there a Prince Charming to save me? Thinking of the story of Prince Charming that my mother told me a long time ago, it is rare to show a weak side. Piccolo also had a sullen expression on his face. Thanks to that man, he cultivated so hard. Now it's time to get the interest back. Damn, we are the strongest. No, aren't you going to shoot? Vic, go to hell. No, is very unconvinced. Their sister and brother just came out of that ghost place. How could this happen?